coming to my house this weekend for board games?
I'm not gonna be able to make it this week.
Man, this guy, this guy doesn't want to play Oathsworn. I mean, you're gonna get left behind, man.
That's right, it is Oathsworn. Fuck.
Yeah, it's fine. We won't use your character. We're not gonna get you killed. It's okay. Probably. Uh, it's okay. We'll fill you in on story details and whatever. I don't even remember where we were actually, to be fucking honest with you. I think we were about to fight a battle, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I can't remember who though.
Because it was like 2 months ago. This was like 2.5 months ago. Well, weren't we like? Have we fought the Scar Tribe guys yet? Or have
We
we
beat
fought that
them.
battle? We beat them.
We beat them. Yeah.
Okay. Did we do the next chapter after that? I don't remember. Like, had we
I don't.
started?
I don't. I don't remember. I remember Scar Tribe because they were really hard. One of us got knocked out during that fight.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was me. I think because I got like knocked off the edge or something and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
And they kept.
They kept attacking me. Yeah, over and
Yeah.
over again. Um. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't quite remember where we were. I swear we were in the middle of a chapter though. But
I thought we did another fight after that.
yeah, I thought we did too. Because that was 13. I think we're on 14. I want to say now. I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll fill you in. All right. Well, how's life, Montrell? How are you doing this week?
This is like one of the slowest weeks I've experienced in my entire life. I'm I'm exaggerating, but it's in a fucking slow week. I
Like
don't know why it's
work
so slow.
wise? We talking work wise or
It's just slow. Like not even
yeah?
work wise. Work wise, I mean, yeah, work wise has been slow. I the first 2 days I've been like nonstop doing stuff, and now this is like today was the first day where I actually had nothing to do. I can stay in the office and do what I need to do in the office.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just been like a really slow week. I got everything done at the beginning of the week, so
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I wouldn't. You know, it's weird. These last few weeks have been slow but fast at the same time. It's kind of weird. When I'm in the middle of a day, I feel like the day is like an eternity, but then all of a sudden it's like the weekend. You know. So I don't know. It's a weird vertigo, I don't know, Twilight Zone thing. But
usually when it's like 2 o'clock for me, between like yeah, when it hits like 2 o'clock, time goes like really fucking slow. Usually after lunch, time goes by really slow, and then after like 3:30, it picks up really fast again. I don't know. It's just really fucking weird.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, we've had a fun week over at the DeSimone house. It's Miss Kitty. We had to take her to the emergency room on Sunday.
Oh no.
She I don't know if I hadn't told you about this. I think I told Jet, but she'd been throwing up all her meals for like a week, over a week straight. Um, and she was fine. She was throwing them up, but she was fine otherwise, you know. And then we started observing diarrhea in the litter box on Sunday.
Mm,
So we were like, okay, all right. Like she's been throwing up for a week. She's starting to get diarrhea. We're like, what's going on here? So we took her to the emergency vet, and she everything came out fine. She's turned out fine. Like there's no big issues. It just seems like she caught some kind of infection or stomach bug or something. We don't really know. Vet couldn't really tell us necessarily, but so they gave us medicine to give her, and we've been kind of monitoring her all week. And finally today, because she kept having diarrhea for like 2 or 3 days, um, through like yesterday morning, and then this morning, finally, she actually had like a solid poop, you know.
yeah.
So that was good. So she hasn't vomited all week, which is good. So it seems like she's okay. She's over whatever was going on. She's finally like through it. But not fun. Kind of throws us into like we get like kind of moody when she's not doing good, you know. It really affects our mood. So So she's good now though, but man, it's funny. It's a shame you're not gonna come over because you'd see her. Because she had to like we got like an ultrasound for her, and they shave her like the belly to like do that or whatever. So her belly's like totally bare right now. And she's like flopping around on the floor and stuff and just like, showing her belly and stuff, and there's no hair. It's just it's kind of funny right now. So but she's good. So she's good, but it's been a stressful week because of that. And then I had my first physical therapy appointment today for the shoulder, which was good actually. It went well. Did some passive exercises where the therapist was kind of like grabbing my arm and like kind of moving it in certain directions and stuff. I did some things on my own as well, that I'm going to need to do every day. But it already feels like I feel like I already have like more motion than I did before the appointment today, though, which is really good. So got that going on too. So we're trucking along, grinding, works grinding. A lot of things going on at work, but just trying to get as much done as I can every day. So yeah, fun time, fun time. But let's get into the gaming, Montreal. All right, everybody. Hello, I'm Justin DeSimone, your host. This is the Player's Take, episode 313. And I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Montrell Rice. For those of you who haven't listened before, this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, not Google Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, and your favorite podcast app of choice. If you'd like to send us questions, you can do so on Twitter at the Player's Take, or you can send us an email to the Player's Take01 at gmail.com. Dude, I just tried to do that rigmarole from the top of my head, and my brain like short circuited, and I reverted back to the old rigmarole with Google Podcasts in there from like a year plus ago. So all right, so we're doing good today. We're doing good today. All right, Marshall, do you want to just get right into what we've been playing?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's do it. All right, I'll go first. Been playing Wuthering Waves still. Actually been putting more time into this week, trying to clear out some side quests and stuff, get through some of the events and things like that have been piling up in this game. So I did a lot of that yesterday. Didn't end up playing Monster Hunter last night, so I kind of did a lot of that with Wuthering Waves. World of Warcraft. So I think I'm not gonna say I've hit a wall, but I'm kind of like I think I'm good right now. I like it happened like kind of happened a couple days ago, like 2 or 3 days ago. I'm like I'm ready to take a break again from this. I've gotten a lot of like my character's kind of not like super geared, but is like got semi raid gear on, semi dungeon gear, kind of has the best gear I can get out of dungeons and stuff. There's most of the gear upgrades I can get are from raids now. And while I want to do those, and I still might, the like constantly getting online to do something with this character, I'm kind of like over it right now. Unless you guys were to jump in and start playing, I'm kind of like I think I want to take a step back and like play some other games. Because I hit like there, it's World of Warcraft Classic, so there's always something to fucking do in this game, which is true. If you want to like kind of work on your character, there's pretty much almost always something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at the point where I'm doing a rep grind for the Magram Centaur clan in Desolus, because Turtle added these enchants at Revered that are exclusive to the Centaur clans, and there's one that gives 7 agility to bracers, which is in Classic. Originally, there were no bracer enchants that gave agility at all. So this is a new thing, a unique thing to Turtle, which is really good for agility characters. But you have to get all the way to Revered, and I got to Exalted earlier this week, and I kind of broke because this grind is miserable. It is like you're literally in a level 35 to 40 zone running around killing mobs that drop garbage, and you have to run back and forth repeating like there's like 2 quests that you can do basically, and you have to do them on repeat, over and over, and it gets you about 550 rep per run of it, and it takes probably 30 minutes minimum to do each run. So it sucks because the reason it sucks too is like it's not just what you're having to do. It's the fact that this zone is fucking. This is an issue I have with Turtle in general. Sometimes is I kind of this is where layering is nice on Blizzard servers is because on Turtle's pretty populated, so these zones are fucking full of people farming them all the time, and specifically the mobs that I need to kill because they are also doing the rep grind, and it's like it can be shitty sometimes where you're doing one part of the quest and all the mobs are dead because somebody else just did it. So you have to sit there. You either sit there and wait, or you go to the next area, and they might be in the next area too. So you're kind of like wasting time, a lot of the time. So this grind blows. And I just kind of I'm like I don't really want to do it. So I'm like I just kind of like struggle with it early in the week. I did a little bit of it on Monday, I think. And that's when I got to Exalted and did it a little bit more into Exalted. But you have to get 21,000 rep, and 550 rep a run means I would need to run this. I would need to do this like literally 40 times, I think, in order to get Exalted, which is an insane amount of time. 40 times, 30 minutes per run. If I'm super efficient and don't stop, it's like, I mean, we're talking 10 hours, I think, or fucking 10 or 20 hours. I don't even know. It's like, it's when I quantify it like that, it's like, I don't want to do it. It's just, I'd rather do something else with my time. So that's kind of where I'm at with WoW. So like I said, unless you guys jump on miraculously, I'm probably gonna hang. I'm probably gonna chill on this for a little bit, at least with the hunter for now. And then I'll come back to it at some point. But
Okay.
and then so that did get me back into Kingdom Come Deliverance yesterday, though. So I really do want to play this game and play the second one. So I started working on it again yesterday. I finished that DLC I was stuck on. This was back in fucking January now, dude. Well, the last time I played this game, but I finished that DLC that I kind of got stuck on. And then I started doing playing the actual game now, which was cool. It was like I started getting kind of the initial quests you get when you get out of this like initial area you're in, and I'm at the point now where I'm like going to do like sword training or something for the first time, like officially. So that's kind of where I left off last night. So I'm excited to get back into this actually and really start playing the game for real. And then Monster Hunter. Are you playing anything other than Monster Hunter, or you just want to get into that?
I'm just playing Monster Hunter. I'm
Okay.
probably about to start playing other stuff, but
Yeah.
uh this
Well,
week. But
yeah. So where are you at with this game? I know you're really high on it last week. Are you still feeling it like that, or where are you at with it?
yeah. So I'm trying to. It's weird because I did fucking like I went crazy on this game, so I can't really judge it for
Yes,
people who
you and
don't
Jet,
who
you and Jet
yeah
went fucking insane, dude. Like,
yeah. So
like
I think there's enough content for like a normal person. So I won't sit here and say like there's not enough content. I think there is enough content. Um, I think it's the same. I think this is just where I'm at with Monster Hunter. The base games they don't really fulfill the need that I want.
yeah,
And I think this is all the base games. Granted, I did the same. Now the only game I did the same with Try, and I did the same with Four. I didn't go back to the games until 4U came out. Like I played Try for like maybe 50 to 60 hours, and I stopped at high rank. And I didn't go back to 3U came out for the 3DS. And then for 4, I did the same thing. I remember I bought 4 on release. I played it
yeah.
for about 12 hours. I actually did not like 4 on release. I don't know why, but the game didn't stick with me. And then I went back and played 4U and I loved it or whatever.
Hmm.
So this is the opposite. I actually love this base game because I didn't like World on release as well. Um,
Yeah.
Went back. Iceborne, obviously, we loved it.
Yeah.
Rise, I didn't like it on release, and then I went back and played Sunbreak. If I'm actually going to go back and play Sunbreak after playing this game, I think I am going to make a concerted effort to go back and give Sunbreak another try.
Hmm.
After all the changes they made and everything of that nature, because we played like right when they released it the first week. Um, I
Yeah,
heard
we didn't do any of the free update monsters or anything.
yeah,
So
yeah, and I heard they
which
nerfed it. They changed the anomaly monsters a lot and stuff like that. So, um, I might go back and play it. So this game, I am liking this game. There's nothing really to complain about with the game. The only thing I don't like is the rarity 8 thing. It becomes um I can't pronounce his fucking name. Arkvale. It becomes an Arkvale fest. If you
yeah,
want to get like rarity 7 stuff for your artisan weapon, which I'm trying to build like this artisan rocket hammer or whatever.
yeah.
So um but yeah, like I am gonna platinum this game. I made a decision to platinum this game, so I am gonna try to platinum it. I'm not really hyped
So
for
when you start
the
doing the crowns, let's do that together because I want to platinum the game too.
okay. I was actually gonna bring that up
Okay.
just now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can do the crowns. We can crown hunt. We can actually save the crowns as investigations, and we can like camp them
Okay.
if that makes any sense.
So
And then we can all
it
do
tells you if it's a crown or not.
not on the initial investigation, but when you put your binoculars on a monster, it tells you if that monster has a crown on it or not. If that makes
Oh,
any sense.
okay.
Yeah.
So no, that's actually kind of like that somewhat. Like
Yeah.
they gave
So
binoculars a purpose.
yeah, exactly. So you
Yeah.
can see if it's a minuscule, a mini crown, or a big gold crown, or a silver
Okay.
crown,
Okay.
and you can save it as an investigation, and you can fight that monster up to 3 times. So I think that's good for us if we like kind of collaborate and we're like, okay, I got this monster, I got this
Yeah.
monster.
Yeah.
Because remember, we can only save I think 15 investigations.
50,
So if we start
50. It's 50.
50, okay,
Yeah.
all right, never mind.
It's pretty
So,
big,
but
but
yeah, yeah, it's pretty big. But yeah, so I'm gonna we can do that with each other. um I actually got super pissed yesterday because a crown monster, I was fighting a monster, then a crown monster came while I was fighting that monster, and I tried to like save it, and it was like the guild was like, "You're not authorized to hunt this monster," because I actually quit the quest I was on to fight that monster, and then she kept saying that I wasn't authorized to hunt it for some reason,
wait,
and I got
what?
really upset.
The hell?
Yeah, I don't know why. It kind of glitched out or something. I don't know
The
why.
fuck?
She
You're
kept
authorized to
saying
fight everything. What the fuck? That's so weird.
it was
What the
so
hell?
stupid.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so
That's so funny that you and Jet keep bringing that up. That she'll say that you guys aren't authorized to fight. I have literally yet to run into that in the entire game.
that was the first time she did that to me. Like she
Okay.
just said,
Yeah.
and like I said, I don't know. The monster had 2 minutes left on the game map before he disappeared. So I don't know why she didn't authorize me to fight the monster. It was so weird.
Yeah.
It was so weird. But it happened. So it was like I was like, whatever. I'll try again, another time or whatever. But yeah, like my goal now is to just like try to fucking speed run every monster, get the best time I can. I'm making just personal goals for myself just to keep myself kind of interested in the game because I always did want to be like a pseudo speed runner for fucking Monster Hunter as far as fighting the monsters and stuff like that and posting them on like my own personal YouTube page or whatever. Um, so I am trying to do that, and I'm trying to grind. I'm trying to go like really hard in this game. For some reason, I do like the game. I like the game loop. But I do think it's just a case of it's not G ranked, and I have to get over that. So I don't know if I can blame them for it or not, but um, I was looking at this game. Uh, there's a Reddit called Monster Hunter Leaks and stuff like that. So apparently, like the title update is bringing Mitsusune,
Yeah.
but Seregios is programmed in the game, and um, I call him Laggy. It was Lagrarius,
Lagiagras?
Lagrarius. He's programmed in the
Lagiagras.
game as
Yeah.
yeah. They're both programmed in the game, and we're supposed to be on in the game on release, but they couldn't get the programming right, so they delayed them. But they have their armor sets, their weapons, and everything. So people were saying we may get that in the next title update as a surprise, or because even the Capcom, the notes say like, "Oh, we're getting a monster, and you're getting like more monsters who are even harder than the art or the tempered monsters or whatever."
Yeah.
So either we're getting arch tempered monsters, or we're getting those two monsters, and they're like really hard to fight. Um, and obviously we're getting Matsusune, or we're gonna get those two monsters in the next title update. But they are there, they're programmed and everything. They just had like some little glitches, and they didn't want to release them with like the glitches they had or whatever. So,
Yeah.
um, and they said it is confirmed throughout like the data mining and stuff like that. Zynoger is in there as well, and there's another monster I
We
forgot,
can't have a
but
Monster Hunter game without him.
yeah,
I mean, actually,
yeah,
frankly, though, they need another Lightning Thunder monster because there's two in the game: Raydao and Fulgur and Janath. So it's not
yeah,
enough. It's
it's not
just not
enough.
enough. It's not enough.
Also, I wouldn't mind. Well, we already have enough fire monsters. I don't know. I think we need a better water monster. We only got one,
Well,
two
that's
water.
Mizusune and
Yeah,
Lagiacrus are both that. So we'll
yeah.
get
So,
those.
um, yeah. I don't know. I mean, the game is really fun. Um, and just coming from a vet's side of things, it is lacking content. But I have to realize I also fucking dummy sock like drove through this game. And I was playing this game like literally every day.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I mean you guys are
so
psychos. Like
yeah,
I'm literally sitting here like you guys are. It's like a Sunday. I get on at like I don't know 9:30, and you guys are like, we've been Justin. Oh, we've been playing all day. Like you guys have been playing for like 7 hours already, and like beat the fucking can. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like what? Like Jesus Christ! Like it's like every waking moment you guys are playing. So yeah, no, you guys like dummy fucking poop sock the shit out of this. Like
yeah. So I can't hold the game accountable for that. I'm already like I think I already like have a 70 to 100 hours logged in. So I can't like I said I can't hold that game accountable for that.
I mean, I think
Um,
it's clear though that the game was released early, or not early, but not finished, because like we don't have the cook. The cook's not in the game. Some of these monsters you mentioned, it's clear that they weren't ready for prime time, despite maybe wanting them to be. Um, and this is just a trend with Capcom and Monster Hunter. We talked about this with Rise, especially. I don't think it's as egregious in this game as it was in Rise.
it was
Rise
super
was
egregious in Rise. It
Rise
was
was horrible, dude. Like it was literally the rarity 8 weapons are kind of equivalent to what rarity 7 were in that game, and there were no rarity 7 weapons in Rise at launch except for one. There was one weapon. So, yeah, so this game's a lot more ready to go, I think. There's just some minor things that weren't ready, but I don't know. I'm kind of in a I don't know, different spot than you with it. It's so I love the game. I love the combat. I think the game plays great. But I'm gonna be honest, I think balance is completely out of whack though. Um I don't want to I'm not gonna use the word easy. That's not I think the issue is translating into the game being easy. I don't think it's necessarily that the game is easy. Monsters have like no HP in this game. Like it's actually fucking crazy. Like dude, I killed a guardian Odogaron or Odogaron, whatever the fuck, however the fuck you say it. I killed one in like 3 minutes the other day. And I'm not even fucking kidding with you. Like I literally wailed on the shit out of this thing. And the reason it happened is I unlocked my first rarity 8 weapon were the paralysis dual blades. And bro, like I don't remember this ever being this egregious in other games, but dude, the paralysis in this game is fucking dummy overpowered. Like it's fucking insane, man. Like I am paralyzing the monster 4 times a hunt probably in like a 6-minute hunt, you know? I've never played a Monster Hunter game where paralysis was that effective. Like have played dual blades forever, and I always make the paralysis dual blades and you use them sometimes, right, against certain monsters. But you might paralyze them once or maybe twice over the course of an entire hunt, and we're talking like a 20-minute hunt in those games, you know. in this game. It's fucking crazy. And when multiple people are running the paralysis weapon, like me and Jet were doing Arkveld the other day, or it wasn't Arkveld, it was new Udra, the octopus thing. And we paralyzed that thing 6 times in like 5 minutes. It was fucking dumb. It never got to move. Like, it literally wasn't even attacking us, because we would paralyze it, we're doing a shitload of damage, and then we'd break one of the arms, and then we'd break a wound, knock it over, then we would fucking break another wound, knock it over, then we'd paralyze it again. It was like the monster barely even attacked, and it's like that combination of things is creating this environment where it feels like the game is easy. But if they just made everything, like made the monsters have more HP, had the parts have more HP, maybe reduce the effectiveness of paralysis a little bit, I think it wouldn't necessarily be easy in the way we all feel like it's easy right now, or people are saying it's easy. Like, the monster would have an opportunity to fucking attack, at least. It's like, so that's kind of the issue I'm seeing right now with the game, is like, I just don't feel like the balance is right. I feel like the numbers are off. I feel like paralysis is too effective. Status effects in general just seem really strong in this one, which is okay if that's what they're going for. It is what it is. But I'm almost at the point where I kind of need to make another weapon, because I want to get off these paralysis blades, because it's just like stupid, dude. Like, like the monsters don't even get to fight. It's like, it doesn't feel fair. So that's kind of where I'm at with the game right now. It's just like it's getting a little boring because of this situation with it. And I think the other thing is co-op is off as well. Like, I don't feel like monster HP is scaling in co-op very well. Like, I don't think it's scaling enough, where like, because like,
I
what is a
I
10-minute fight for a solo player is like 5 minutes or less for 2 people or 3 people. It's
uh
crazy.
I disagree. I think the multiplayer fights are way longer um than what they seem. There are monsters where I'm like, I can beat this monster solo 5 minutes, and then if there are 2 players, or if there are 2 other players that join, so 3 all together, then the monster has a significantly higher HP. Now, two people, I think um, there may be a balance issue with that with 2 people.
Yeah.
I mean, they did say, like, some of the Reddit people did say some of the stuff was bugged. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like the stun is bugged or whatever. But
Yeah.
I also didn't like in World and in Rise. So the reason I'm not against the stun lock thing or whatever, is because I didn't like in World and Rise, after you stunned the monster like twice, that was
Yeah.
it. Like, you
Yeah.
couldn't, their stun resist was like way up. And that's
Yeah.
with like almost anything. If you poison them twice, that was it. You could only poison them like once or twice.
Yeah.
Um it was really hard to get that third stun or KO stun or whatever the case may be. Um so I actually like that they lowered the resistance like that, because it makes it kind of useless after the second stun or the second paralysis or the second poison. Like, it becomes kind of obsolete at that point. You're like, okay, I only can do it twice in the fight.
Yeah.
Why would I even try to get a higher element on that? In my opinion, I just think you guys have a stun build, and I think the stun build is crazy. Uh, that's just my opinion. I mean, there could be
Yeah, I
other
mean,
people
I
who
have
feel,
critical status. Like, I'm probably maxed out on paralysis, like, effectiveness, but I don't know. I just think it's OP. Like, like you just get to sit there and wail on the monster like that, and it's resulting in the monster dying super fast and never attacking. It's
yeah. I
not
mean,
that
maybe
effective
you just
against
have a,
like Arkveld's not that effective necessarily. Like, he's a little stronger, but like, dude, yeah, that I don't know. The new Udra must be weak to it or something, because dude, the thing never got to attack. It was nuts.
yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe I know certain monsters do have more resistance than others, so I mean that could be a thing
Yeah,
as well. Like,
yeah,
Arkvale, he steadily, the tempered version of him steadily beats my ass. Like, regardless, I think sure Magala is actually easy now. Um, I know Jet was having issues with him, but I think that monster is super easy.
he's never been that hard.
Um,
I don't think. Like, I
but yeah,
yeah.
but the Arkvale, I think he's kind of tough still. Sometimes I still try to feint against him. I think certain weapons are overpowered. I do think dual blades and sword and shield is dummy overpowered.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
they're they're peak power right now, dude. I've never seen dual blades do so much damage. It's crazy, bro. I'm like
yeah,
doing attacks on wounds, and I'm seeing like 70s pop up. I'm like, what is going on here, man? Like, what the fuck? It's
Yeah, and
pretty broken in this game, man. Like,
yeah, and Sword and Shield can do elemental damage, it can do raw damage, and it can do KO damage.
yeah,
And it has to me it has one of the best focus attacks in the game, next to probably dual blades. But it's not flashy, but it does a shit ton of fucking damage.
yeah.
Um, wh- when I
Jet
do it,
hates
like
dual blades. Jet hates dual blades because it like I'll do a focus strike, break a wound, and then you do the you do the Beyblade over the back of the monster, and it will break
yeah,
like 3 other wounds. And he's like, "Oh fucking what the fuck? I was gonna use that to fill my spirit gauge or whatever the fuck."
yeah, no, it's
And I'm like, "Sorry, bro, 6 to suck."
yeah, no, your dual blades do take up a lot. But the surprising thing about it is I don't see a lot of dual blade users. Like
No.
every time I go multiplayer, I never really fight with dual blade users. I'm actually seeing a lot of lance users, great sword users, bow users, and
Yeah,
uh,
you just named all the safest weapons in the game. like like dual blades is not a safe weapon to play with. Like it like I know Jet was complaining about that at some point where like I dodged an attack and he's like, well, I don't just get to dodge whenever I want. But dude, it's like, I can't block. Like I'm like a fucking, I guess he can't either technically, but he has a counter. That's the thing. He has that like counter move or whatever. So it's like dual blades is like, it's a very glass cannon type of play style. Like you take a lot of damage, but you deal a lot of damage. You're very fast. It's always been the way it's been. So it doesn't surprise me. I don't think I don't think it's for everybody. As cool as it probably looks or feels, it's like if you're not I like if you're a kind of player who's like trying to, you don't want to take a lot of hits. Like I think, yeah, those bulkier weapons, lance or whatever, is probably better. And I mean, bow is super safe because you're at a distance. So
yeah, no, I surprisingly I thought shield and sword would be used a lot, but a lot of people don't really use it. Maybe it's too like not the
it's a
most flashiest weapon.
complicated. It's a complicated weapon. Sword and shield is got
Really,
a
you think
lot.
so?
I once you understand it, it's not. But dude, the combo you can do, and I don't know how they changed it in Wilds because I haven't actually played with it yet. But the combo that you can do with sword and shield is very long. Like it's a really long combo from what I remember.
Mm.
And it takes a lot of coordination and good positioning to hit every single hit in the right place.
Well,
Um,
it's funny you
so
say that because they have the mechanic now with the sword and shield with your basic combo. You can move while you hit. Like that's literally the mechanic
oh
now.
yeah,
It's like you're
yeah.
it's like you're fencing with the monster. If that makes any
That's
sense.
cool. Yeah, dual blades can
Uh,
do that too, which is sick. I love that.
yeah,
You're not as locked into your animations as you used to be with dual blades,
yeah,
which is great. It's so fucking nice, dude. Like it's a really nice change. So there's some times where like that O dog I was talking about, dude, where I was like, man, I was in the fucking zone. I don't even think the thing barely fucking hit me, dude. Like it was nuts. I was dodging everything because the the new kind of timed dodge mechanics are really awesome, and I hope they stick around for good. Because they changed the way you play the game now. I feel like where I'm noticing like my old habits, still die hard sometimes where you see an attack incoming and you kind of dodge it early, but that isn't necessarily optimal anymore. You kind of want to wait for the attack to come, perfect dodge it, and then dash back into the monster and start attacking.
hmm
That's way more effective in this game than the old way of doing it, obviously. So it's kind of an interesting change for the playstyle for sure. And if you're good enough, like with dual blades, if you can keep it going, dude, you are constantly attacking, man. It is fucking nasty. Like it I could see some speed runs. I'm sure they're already out there of people like literally dodging every single hit and never getting hit and constantly just swinging back into the monster and doing combos. Like it can be really nasty if you're good at it. So
yeah. So one thing I will say that I'm super disappointed in, and I mean we all have this. You had it with World, and I think this is just the game I'm gonna have it with. I absolutely hates the hammer in this game. It is
Yeah.
fucking trash, dude.
Yeah.
It it's one of the worst weapons in the game, bar none. Like
Oh,
it has
that
it
sucks.
yeah. And I thought I was the only one who felt like maybe I'm trash, but no, I went on like Reddit and then like other Monster Hunter forum sites, and everyone unanimously agrees that this is probably the worst hammer they've ever made. Like this changes they did to this weapon, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking because it's crazy because this team made Monster Hunter World's hammer, and that hammer is fucking gorgeous. Like I love that hammer. This one, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. I think it needs. I think it's so bad they need to hot fix it. Like that's how bad I think this weapon is.
Shit. Okay.
I can't wait until G rank for this weapon to get fixed.
Yeah.
They need to fix it now, like in the next title update. It's really fucking bad. And it's like, oh, maybe you just did the game's only been out for a fucking week. Like, no, the game, I got like almost 100 hours in this shit. And I've been using hammer since Monster Hunter 1. This is probably the worst I've seen this hammer. It
Yeah.
it um has a very limited move set. Uh the frames are very fucking long. Uh it used to be a hit and run weapon and you can get in and get out. You can't do that anymore. They turned to like a weird combo weapon and they keep trying to make you do the spinning. They Capcom for some reason wants you to do the spinning bludgeon attack where you spinning around. That shit is ass. No
Mhm.
one uses that. Like, and they almost took it out in Rise. To use it in Rise, you had to go through a very specific combo to use it. Now
Yeah.
it's like the base thing. It's like almost like Monster Hunter 1 hammer, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is this? Like, this is like the worst hammer in the game. They took away the counter for like an offset thing with the golf swing is the offset. So when the monster hits you, you gotta hit him at the right time. It can negate his attack completely. But to get to that golf swing, you had to go through two attack moves to get to it, or three in some cases, just to get to that golf swing animation hit. So it's not like a counter. You have to like go through your whole combo to get to that at the end of the combo. It's
Yeah.
just um it's not a good weapon, man. Like I'm still using it because I like hammer in general, but
Mhm.
I would be remiss to say like this is probably the worst I've seen this weapon. Like
Yeah.
that's why I just went full sword and shield as my primary, and now my hammer is my secondary, which I never do, and I'm probably about to drop it and switch to fucking and I have dual blades as my third, but I'm probably about to drop the hammer and put like bow as my third or something like that,
Yeah.
because yeah, it's not a good weapon at all, man.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Um,
so
how do you feel about the gem system now that we've had it for a couple weeks? The weapon gems versus armor gems.
I like how accessible they are. I
Yeah.
also hate how restrictive they are. I don't like the armor thing and the
Yeah.
armor and weapon thing. I don't like that. But I think there are. I mean, I've been watching speed runs and stuff, so there are gems that are like tenderizer and stuff like that that can that can go into your armor slot as well. You
Yeah.
just
I've
gotta
gotten a
find them.
couple. I've actually gotten a couple already.
Yeah, and I think those are like super rare.
Yeah.
One thing I'm not really. I don't like how like the I don't know. It's just weird. Even the high set armor, like I have the Arkvale armor, I have the Guardian Arkvale armor, and even those have limited Gem 3 slots.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
know, they should have more Gem 3 slots in my opinion. This is
I
the
think they
highest tier
want.
armor.
I think this game, this Monster Hunter, I think is really encouraging mixed sets more than I think I've seen in a while.
Yeah,
World
and
was kind
I
of
do
like
have a
that
mixed
too,
set.
a little bit. But yeah, I think if you want to maximize gem slots, you're looking at it. You're going to need to use a mix set for sure for that because there's really no set that I've seen that has like a lot of 3 slot gem slots. So, that's going to be the biggest limiter. The weapon, I will say too, the weapon thing is a little frustrating because I feel like every weapon at rank rarity 8, at least for dual blades, has one 3 slot, one 2 slot, one slot, and I don't like that. I feel like it for whatever reason they seem to design the weapons at rarity 8 to be very like on par with each other in terms of that stuff, and then they're not like they're obviously not on par in terms of what skill they have innately, and then the attack and other stats and affinity and stuff.
Mhm.
And it's just kind of weird that they did it like that, like because some of the weapons suck. There's like those negative affinity weapons that have really high attack and shitty sharpness, like their blue sharpness, and it's like, why don't you give those like another higher level gem slot, or something to like balance it out or something like that. I don't know. It's like those weapons don't have anything that puts them above for the most part, except for the higher raw attack, which is almost never which has almost never been worth it in Monster Hunter. So I don't know. Um, but that's just me. But so I think the game's good. I'm just like, I'm in the same space as you though. I don't know how much grinding I really want to do in the game because I know there's more. It's just like it's one of those things when there's another tier coming for grinding later that's like the ultimate tier. It's like, why am I going to sink 500 hours into this now to make this uber armor set that I'm just going to replace in 2 seconds when we get to master rank? It's like, it's just, I don't, it's like the World of Warcraft thing, with an expansion. It's just, I don't know. So I'm like, I kind of want to get the plat, and then I think I'm probably gonna dip out after that. Like and I'll probably come back for title updates, and I'll check out the new monsters if you guys do it too. But I don't know. Part of me wants to like grind out weapon sets for like all the other weapons I want to play, because I want to play bow, I want to do sword shield. I even want to part of me kind of wants to try like hunting horn or something, like really go out of my comfort zone and like try a new weapon maybe. Would be cool, but so that those are the only things that are like motivating me outside of getting the plat. It's like at this point I feel like I've already gotten enough out of the game, because there's no monsters harder than Tempered Arkfeld right now in terms of difficulty, in my opinion. And until that changes, there's not really a lot of reason to push your gear set, because I can already beat a Tempered Arkfeld. It's like it's not that difficult. So it's just, I think that's the issue too, is the monster situation isn't super fleshed out yet, which is fine. We expect that on launch of the base game. But actually, I don't know. Have you seen the sentiment online too that people are saying we don't need Elder Dragons or whatever yet? And I'm like, what are you guys talking about, man? Like,
Yeah,
come
that's
on,
weird.
bro.
I saw the opposite of that. I saw people
Yeah.
saying that they want more. They wish they had more Elder Dragons in here. Um, I'm in between. I don't know. I never was an Elder Dragon farmer like that. I think
Yeah.
sometimes the Elder Dragons are bullshit to me, in my opinion. But
I mean,
uh,
I'm sick of certain ones like Teostra, dude.
yeah, Teostra is the one I don't fucking
Leave
like.
it, bro. We don't need him. Okay,
Yeah,
like
I don't.
I'm sure some people feel that way about Kushala or whatever. Like we don't need like I get it, but there's so many Elder Dragons at this point that they could put in the fucking game. Like um, pick some different ones. Then it's like I still think we need them though. They're kind of the ultimate challenge. They've always been the ultimate challenge.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I would just like more higher tier monsters, more eight rarity 8 monsters. I think I'm in the same boat as you. I think I'm gonna platinum the game, and then I'm gonna shelve it for a while. Even after title updates come out, I know I'm probably gonna shelve it for like maybe 2 or 3 months, and then they'll probably get like maybe 2 or 3 title updates, and then just come back to it and play
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
Um, I mean, it's because it's only gonna be so much you can do after you platinum it. Um,
I mean, we're already at that point, dude. Like, I'm literally already at that point. Like, once I make the armor I want to make, it literally becomes about gem farming and the weapons I want. Which the gem farming I've already done a little with Jet, and I've gotten super lucky, dude. I think I've gotten 2 tenderizer jewels for armor. I've gotten a couple really crazy weapon jewels also. So I'm not like flush with gems necessarily where I have everything I need, but it's like I don't feel like the gem grind is that crazy in this game. So I'm almost with
which
you. Like part of me wants to
which
go
I,
to Sunbreak and like just like fully do that, like because we never did really.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be down for it. It's gonna be hard as fuck to adjust, I think, though.
I
I
know.
think
I agree.
it's gonna be really hard to adjust. But I mean, I'm down for that as well.
Yeah.
Uh but yeah, I actually personally don't mind the nonsensical gym grind.
Yeah.
I know people like to grind for hours and hours, but I mean, we did that, and sometimes we would get frustrated because we didn't get the gems that we've been grinding
Worlds
for.
World was
And yeah,
bad.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm okay with them being generous on the gem slot thing. In my or the gems dropping in general. I think
Yeah.
the hardest grind is the artisan weapons. I don't like the artisan weapons because I hate how they fucking look. So I wish they would bring weapon skins back. If I can do artisan weapons and then give me a weapon skin, I would do that. Um, so I don't know.
Can you not
I'm
do layered
actually
armor?
you can't do layered armor. But you can't do layered weapon skins. I don't think.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think you
Oh,
can
so
do. I go back and check, but I'm pretty sure you can't do layered weapon skins yet. Because
okay.
you can do that in Rise. But yeah, like I don't know. I think the game's pretty good. It's definitely like I said, like a 9 out of 10 for me. Uh, I don't think the game was like an 8 at all or a 7. I wouldn't
Yeah.
give it me personally. I wouldn't give it below 8.5. Like that's just me personally.
Yeah, I'm like
Um,
I'm between an 8.5 and a 9 right now.
yeah.
I think we
Um,
felt that way about World. I think Iceborne was like a 9.5 or 10 for us, you know. And I
yeah.
think this game similarly has the foundation. If they have a similarly sized DLC for Master Rank, I think we're gonna be in the same boat probably. Like we're gonna be obsessed with this fucking game when Master Rank comes out.
Yeah,
As long as they
and
don't do anything weird like they did with the Clutch Claw, you know, I think we could be like
I think
fucking.
they are gonna do some weird. I think they're gonna do
I
something
hope
super
not.
fucking
Like,
weird,
dude,
man.
I think like if they keep it simple and like just add a ton of monsters and new environments and a shitload of new weapons and stuff and armor, like I think we could be fucking lost in this game when that comes out. But
Yeah, because I
yeah.
don't need a new mechanic. I just want I can do master rank arch tempered monsters. That's your
Hmm.
mechanic right there. I don't need
Yeah. Yeah.
super uber. I don't need all that shit.
Yeah.
I don't need anomaly monsters or the wound mechanic like you said or whatever. Like I think the wound mechanic they have right now is perfect. Uh, I think the guardian monster they have right now is perfect. Uh, and they can just expound upon that. Like just make the guardian monsters hit harder or something like that.
Yeah.
Um I don't need apex monsters like,
Some of them
where a
already
certain
do,
part.
man. The
Yeah.
I fought a tempered guardian Doshagama the other day. Bro, I was like, I could not believe how much damage that thing was doing. He was stronger than like the tempered Arkfeld, like some of his attacks. Like there was an attack he did where he took me from full health to like 1% HP, and I was like, "Yo, what is going on? What the fuck is this monster, bro?" It's like what? So I don't know. It's interesting because that it's like it was a weird experience because I feel like a lot of the monsters don't hit that hard actually, even the tempered ones. So that was kind of interesting. I will say the tempered thing's cool though. I love how it's visual in this game, where they have like these like giant scars on them, you know, from clearly having fought other things. I really like that. I think that's like a really cool visual cue that it's a tempered monster. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that as well. It's a good lore reason too. Like, yeah, obviously because they fought other monsters, they're just not just tempered
Hmm.
because of no reason.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the game's really cool. I will say I did tweet this. I did go on Twitter today. Um, I was like really bored, so I
Yeah.
tweeted one thing. But I think out of the new gen games, this is the best release on new gen, in my opinion. Um, I know people may disagree with that because like the monster roster is the lowest. World only had one more monster uh than Wilds did, and then Rise. I feel like I know Rise had like 34, 35 monsters on release or something like that. I just feel like that's bullshit. I I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I just feel like that's
I
bullshit
don't think it
though.
was that high. I think that was like with title updates or something. Like
No,
I
I
don't
think that was released. I think Rise has the most monsters on release,
I
like
just
before
I
title
don't I don't
updates.
believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like it. And then Rise did have one rarity 7 weapon, I believe. One or two rarity 7 weapons. Um
It was one.
it was one.
It was from the final dragon monster that you fight. Narwa
Yeah,
or
so
whatever.
um Rise was in my opinion, just not. It wasn't good at all. World was
We were so
too gen.
pissed, dude.
Yeah, I put that game down so fast,
We
man.
were
I
so
feel
mad.
bad too, but
Because
I
Jet
was
was
like,
really into that one, and we just abandoned it because we were like, "Bro,
bro,
this game's not even done. What are we
it,
doing?"
yeah, it wasn't a good game in my opinion, and it was stuck on a Switch too. I was just like, nah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, World pissed me off too because not only was the armor sets ugly, I think World had the ugliest armor sets besides
The
Rise. Rise
character
had some,
models in World were so bad, dude. Yeah, they
yeah,
were not good.
Rise had some ugly. World had some ugly armor sets. Uh, the monster selection was like all reptiles. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
wyverns and
and I
reptiles.
feel like they were uninspired as well. If that makes any sense, like they weren't really that fun to fight.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
there were a couple standouts, but like, yeah, I don't know. The spectacle world wore off really, really fast for me. I was just like, I don't think there's any. I didn't really like the arch tempered thing or whatever at the time as well, like the tempered and the
Yeah,
arch tempered. I was just
yeah.
like, I don't
But
know, man.
playing Rise Sunbreak made me like, okay, you know what? This is simple. It's stupid. It's dumb. They're just increasing the HP and damage of the monster, but you know what? I'd rather have that than the random explosion nonsense of the anomalies. Like,
Yeah,
give me
and
that, bro.
that's what I saw. I
Yeah,
went soft on that. I was like, yeah, you
yeah.
know what? Give me the arch tempered monsters, and I'm glad they just bought that shit back. They didn't. I mm, I think they're gonna bring the anomaly shit back, dude. I don't know, man. They bringing
Or
mechanics back. Like I wasn't expecting the
no, I was
frenzied
thinking like
monster.
the rampage monsters or something. You know, like yeah, frenzied.
Oh,
Yeah, because rampage is when they're like pretty much constantly enraged, right? The entire fight,
I think that's the Apex monsters actually,
or is that apex? I don't fucking remember. God, dude.
because the rampage.
Give me the deviants, bro. I need the deviants back.
That's
Okay,
what they
like
should bring
I
back,
need those
dude.
special move set monsters. You know.
The deviant. I want the. I think it was called the blood red Tigrex. I know you hate Tigrex, but it was one Tigrex in Generations that constantly yelled like 4 or 5
Yeah. Oh
times in a
yeah.
row.
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
uh,
And the infamous that Yan Garuga that
they
we
did a
fought.
fucking
Yeah,
fucking
man.
charged up
Dude, it
in
was I
Gen 3.
still can't believe how cool that shit was. Where dude, we're literally the thing ran away from us, like did like a charge attack and like did like the one where it like, you know, flails the wings or whatever, and then it turns around and me and you are standing next to each other. And then we see it like set its legs and then the eyes glow. It was like shing, and then it's like boom, and we were like, "What the fuck?" We both got carded, I think,
Yeah.
because it was like a bullet, dude. Like it was insane, dude. That shit was awesome. So I need that. I need like I love the idea of subspecies monsters having wildly different mood sets, like significantly different from the basic monster. You know, because they always do that with subspecies where there's some new moves or something like that, but it's like
Yeah.
only like a couple. It's not like a huge thing. The deviants were a massive difference. Like they were significantly different from their base versions. So I'd love to see something like that too. I know that is more work for them. Obviously, it's a lot of work, but I think it's really worth it though. It's just cool to have different types of fights with the same kind of monster, you know. So
Yeah, and I know they do a different thing. I think the reason why like Monster Hunter 3 through like 5 or Generations was so successful is because they didn't really have to change the engine that much. Whereas like World's engine, in my opinion, I think is drastically different from WoW's engine. If that makes any sense, it's like
yeah.
an upgraded version of a World's engine, maybe. Um, so they have to like program all of them moving through the environment and shit like that or whatever.
Yeah.
And interacting with different monsters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Uh, and to be honest with you, I think the monsters, like the way they interact with each other, um, I don't need them to have each one have like animation turf war. Like the way they fight now with each other looks like a fucking turf war already.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
I
I
don't
don't,
know.
I don't.
Some of the animation turf wars are fucking sick though, dude.
No, they are. I
Like,
don't
oh
need every
my
monster interaction
god.
to have that though.
I agree. It's a lot of work, but like, dude, when it was like a Lala Barena fighting a Doshaguma, dude, it was so fucking cool. The monster, like the Lala Barena, like jumps on the Doshaguma and is like on top of it, moving around, and the Doshaguma is like trying to get it off and like swatting at it and stuff, and it's not working. It's just like jumping around and it's like stabbing it, as it jumps around. It was
Yeah,
fucking so sick, dude. And then, but then, like I think the end of it, like the Doshagama like gets a hold of one of the legs and just fucking slams it on the ground upside
yeah.
down. It was fucking sick, dude. I'm like, holy shit.
I don't know, man.
So,
Them monsters when they be fighting each other, I'm like,
oh my
this
god,
is
they're fucking
fucking dangerous.
savage, bro.
I
They're
know, man.
savage. Like it rules though. I love it. It's so cool, man. It's great. It's good stuff. I don't know. There's just something primal about Monster Hunter for I think for us, but I think for a lot of people, it's just big monster go smash, and it's like you're fighting like Godzilla, in some way. I think that's what it's
Yeah,
like unlocking for people, and that's why it's so popular. So I don't know.
yeah.
But but yeah, but no,
So
I mean, I think the game is great. I don't want to like nitpick it too much. There are some
yeah, yeah,
issues. It's not perfect, but I think we're at the beginning of this game, right? Like we have probably a 2 year to 2.5 year cycle with this game coming up, probably of like title updates, big DLC, more title updates, and it might even be longer than that. It could be 3 years plus, So I think that's kind of the reality of it. We're at the beginning. I think we've kind of poop sopped the game, and we need to maybe like give it some time, let some of these title updates come out, let there be more content, and I think we'll come back and we'll have more fun with it. So, but again, I'm not done with it. I'm still gonna play it, but I am ready to move on a little bit. We got Xenoblade Chronicles X coming out next week. Like I said, I'm trying to play Kingdom Come Deliverance, and then I want to play Deliverance 2 right afterwards. So I'm kind of like already in a different headspace a little bit, starting to get into a different headspace somewhat. Um so yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be mainlining it every night with you guys. The same way we
that's a
we have been the
yeah,
last week or so, week and a half.
yeah.
But
That's okay. That's definitely warranted. I think after this week, like I said, I'm gonna log on and like, hey, you guys want to, crown hunt? If
yeah,
nobody responds, then I'm playing another game. So
yeah, yeah, which is fine. So
yeah.
so yeah. All right. Anything else on Monster Hunter?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Let's get into the news. We do have a few news stories this week. First one, Death Stranding 2. So yeah, this is an uh-oh for me. It was a new trailer, very lengthy trailer. I think it was like 10 minutes or something. And we got a release date for the game. It is coming in June. So June 26th. So basically 3.5 months for us. It is coming out exclusively on PlayStation 5, by the way. I'm sure it'll be
Okay.
on PC later, but this is I think this is a game Sony locked down with the first one, and I think they've just locked this down going forward. But people are very hyped for this. I think it was a little bit of a surprise that it's coming this soon, but
Yeah,
not.
I'm totally surprised, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
I didn't. I mean, dude, this game's been in development for a while, man. It's like time flies. Like Death Stranding 1 came out in like what
2019?
2019. Yeah, it's like it's been 6 years, so it makes sense. So yeah, I don't know, dude. I need to play the first game. Like I'm kind
Yeah,
of like fuck. I don't
you
know.
know what it is? Death
Yeah,
Stranding 1 came out in November of 2019. But obviously like 4 or 5 months later, COVID happened. So this
yeah,
game was like a huge hit when COVID hit,
yeah, yeah,
as well. But yeah, I don't know. I'm ready for the game. I gotta finish it actually. But I promise you, y'all, like I was trying to tell you and DJ when I played this game because I played it for free. It's on. I
yeah,
don't know if it's still free now on PlayStation, but I got it when it was free, so I
yeah,
still have it right now. And yeah, when I played it, man, I was just like, let me try this game out. What the fuck? Let me see. And I played it, and I was just like, oh my god, I get it. Like
yeah,
it's just one of those games you can't watch gameplay footage of it because you won't get it.
yeah.
You
It
have to
makes
just play
sense.
the game. Yeah. Um.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I got it, bro. I was like taking I was planning my routes for my deliveries. Like And it's just a really weird game. And on top of that, it's like a community. It's like a community game. I can lay down a fucking a ladder or something like that, right? And that ladder, like the items that you bring with you make like a lot of sense, or they have a drastic like you know consequences or whatever. You have to really plan out your route. But like,
Hmm.
yeah, I can build a bridge or something like that, and that would be a community bridge. Like someone in another instance can use that bridge because that bridge is now on their thing or whatever. Uh,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, people will leave like little markers and little you know, stash houses and stuff for you to like come in there, eat, rest, and then continue on your journey. Like in their instance or whatever, they can leave that for you, and you get points
Hmm.
for people using that type of stuff. So it's like a
Yeah.
really, it's like a. When he said he really wanted to bring the world together for like cooperation, it's like a single player cooperative game. Like I don't know, I never really played something like that before. It's really cool
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm really interested in what he's going to do with Death Stranding too. Um, I don't know. Not to be negative Nancy, but I'm already seeing like the grifters come out for this game already. They're trying to woke eyes this game and everything like that.
Wait, what?
Saying the game, yeah, they're
Why?
trying to uh because one of the characters is black. I forgot her name. Her name's Deborah or something. She's like she's in a lot of games. The one that was in the lady that was in fucking Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Her. So
Okay.
she's in a lot of games, but people are like, oh, she's everywhere, and I'm like, he worked with her before in like Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah,
She
but
was one of
it's.
the
I
characters of
mean,
Metal Gear Solid 4.
it doesn't matter who the actress is, though. It's like, I mean, is it just like, is this the point we're at? Is like black character woke? Goddamn, bro, it's fucking. That's crazy, dude.
Well, people would say that, and they're like, I can't believe Kojima fell for the Hollywood rabbit hole, and I'm like, have you played any of Kojima's games?
Yeah, man. What
Have we
the
just not
hell?
played Metal Gear 1 through 4? Like that was the most political game. Those are the most political
Yeah,
games ever.
yeah, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
So um really I mean, I always say this on this podcast, but bro, I think me and you both need to like do a lot of research, and this would probably be our breakout video or whatever. We really need to do like a super deep dive on Gamergate and like
Yeah.
the effects of that because we have to remember now. I think that was almost 15 years ago. So there are gamers who are like
That's insane, dude. Oh my
who never even
god. Wow.
heard of Gamergate and don't understand the fallout of that
Yeah, I
shit.
mean, if you were born like 2009, let's say, or even like 2007, you weren't cognizant of what was going on with that, and
I don't even
you're
say
an
if you're
adult. You're an
I don't
adult
even say if
now,
you were
you know.
born in 2001, 2000. You were like 10 years old when that shit was out, when that
Yeah,
shit was
true,
happening.
true.
So you don't understand. So I think a lot of gamers now they're in this eco space now. They're like, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And like, yeah, we have these grifters who are like, this game is woke, guys. And they're like, yeah, they're right. Because they don't understand that games had black people in them before 2020.
Yeah,
They had women in them before 2020. I don't know.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
It's just a weird. It's just a weird thing that's happening with gaming. Frankly, I'm tired of it. I will say there are a lot more people pushing back on it now than ever before.
yeah,
Like so I think a lot of people are, even people who are like on the right and stuff like that, who are like left and right, or they're just like, I'm tired of this shit, bro. Shut the fuck up. No one cares.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, but I'm excited for the game. It looks really cool. I kind of went media dark on it. I saw like five or a minute of that trailer. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just shut it off. I'm like, oh nope, I'm not watching anymore.
Um, do you expect any significant mechanical changes in terms of combat? Like, do you think the combat will continue to be secondary in this next game, or do you
I
think it'll be more
I
fleshed
actually
out?
think the combat would be more fleshed out in this game. I think that was a major contingency for a lot of people was the combat in the first game.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
it almost was like you really didn't want to do it.
yeah, exactly. Except for you got into the boss fights.
Yeah.
Um, so I think in this game they did show a lot more combat. It looks like there's gonna be a lot more combat. Um, Also, I don't know if you noticed, but that Metal Gear nod, that one character that showed up that looks almost exactly like Solid Snake.
Yeah.
Uh, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
Um, it was like a fucking homage to Solid Snake or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I think the games will be cool though. I can't wait for it. I actually did not expect for it to come out this year. I thought it was gonna be next year.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of was thinking it would be this year. Just that I like that. I kind of like the fact though that Kojima is keeping this close to the vest, the release date, and not doing it like last year when they were showing the game.
Yeah,
Just being like, "Hey guys, it's coming in 3 months. There you go." It's like that's sick, dude. I love that. I think we need that more in games because it's just exciting. It like shortens the kind of that like anticipation period for people to something that's very reasonable and manageable. So
yeah.
um all right, fair enough. All right, let's move on to our next story. So Jez Corden over at Windows Central, he's kind of the big Microsoft insider from the gaming side of things. He posted an article this week talking about Xbox's hardware plans going forward. So this is pretty much what he said here. There's going to be a new handheld that they are working on if everything goes to plan that will release later this year. That is going to be kind of a PC focused handheld that very likely will have like a full version of Windows on it, have the Microsoft Store, but it will also allow you to install third party stores like Steam and maybe even something like GOG and stuff like that. So, this is going to be not necessarily totally an Xbox handheld, but one that will integrate with Xbox in some way, I'm sure, as well. So there's that that's potentially coming. And then he did detail as well that the next gen hardware has been greenlit all the way up to Satya Nadella, and that it is targeting a 2027 release for a successor to the Xbox Series X. He did say that there will be an Xbox Series X successor for sure, so a high end, high powered console. Didn't say much about an S if there would be a kind of they would do that split thing again, but he did mention that there will also be a new handheld for that launch that will pair with the console, it sounds like. So that's slated in 2027. So yeah, this is big news. I would say Xbox is still going to try the handheld game, or the hardware game, including handhelds. Um, and I don't know, big news. I mean, Montreal, does this what do you think? Do you think this is warranted? I mean, we've been talking about this for a while. I think we both agreed that they'd probably try one more generation before packing it in. So does this make sense to you still?
Yeah, I'm actually glad that they are not just tucking tail and running. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I commend them for this. I thought they were going to be done after this generation, to be honest with you. Um, but the simple fact that they're not really gives me hope. I really hope they learned a lot from this generation.
Yeah.
Um, if they didn't, then yeah, you deserve to be, you know, let go for the next generation or whatever. Um, and I'm actually surprised that it took both companies, or it took one of the companies this long to get into the handheld market. I mean, ever since the Steam Deck, in my opinion, I know the Switch was like the originator of that, but in my opinion, people didn't really start looking at handhelds seriously until the Steam Deck came out, and then that's when people were like, oh, like at least all these other computer manufacturing companies were like, oh, okay, well we can do that. That's really easy to do, and
Yeah.
we have like four of them. I think it's the Steam Deck, the Lenovo one, or something like that, and
Rogue
then the
Ally, Asus
Rogue,
has one. Yeah.
yeah, Asus has one as well. And all of them are actually very good tech.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so it just makes sense that we get one of the major contenders of game hardware to do it, and I'm actually glad Xbox is doing it. I would love the PlayStation to fucking do it. I mean, yes, the PlayStation Portable is there, but that's more so like
Yeah.
that's a very niche market in my opinion. Like for me and you, like we were like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is cool. I can like be in the room with my wife playing my games and whatever the case may
Well,
be or
I got
whatever.
rid of mine, dude, because I wasn't using it.
Oh
That's
really? I
like,
thought you still had
yeah. Well,
yours.
it didn't work super well in my house, unfortunately.
Oh no.
And I didn't feel like figuring it out, so I just kind of got rid of it because I mean, there is rumors that we are getting a native, like a big boy, high powered PlayStation handheld as well. So, when that comes out, whenever that comes out, I'm gonna be all over that one for sure. Being able to play PlayStation, like if I can play my PlayStation console games on the go, I mean, dude, I'm done. It's like that's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, so I am glad that like Xbox is beating them to the punch for it because now,
yeah,
like I said, you know, as much as I shit on capitalism, I do believe in regulated capitalism, and
hmm
I do believe competition is good, and I don't want PlayStation to be comfortable. I think
yeah,
in that aspect, because all of us we win when they have to innovate for our attention, and
yeah,
I re- I hope this. There are games that I want to play on my Xbox. I just don't want to hook up my Xbox. If that makes any sense, I don't feel like
yeah, yeah.
doing
I know what you
everything.
mean.
So
Yeah,
if I can play my library that I have on Xbox on like a portable hand console, like on the go or something like that, I think that would be wonderful. Like,
yeah.
uh, I don't know. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, and I mean this handheld they're talking about for later this year. I mean, this sounds sick, dude. Like playing Xbox console games, you can get Steam on it. You might be able to get GOG or something on it. I mean, that is a robust handheld device, certainly from a PC standpoint. And I think I think that would be very compelling, actually, for sure. So, because I mean, you can be damn sure that the Sony handheld is not going to let you play Steam games. you know
Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, I think that will make this Xbox handheld actually pretty compelling overall, because they'll have games that maybe some of the other ones don't necessarily have access to per se. So I don't know, that's kind of exciting. I think it is smart though. There's no sign of a Series S coming with, or a Series S, um you know uh replacement coming with the next generation of the console. I think that makes sense, and I hope they stick with that. I think the Series S ended up being kind of a boondoggle for Microsoft in a really bad way,
yeah,
because they required every game to run on both the S and the X, and it became very clear early into the generation that a lot of developers didn't want to make their games compatible with that device, because it's significantly weaker than the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. It just is. And it was really difficult. I mean, we saw it with Baldur's Gate. Like Baldur's Gate 3 literally had to get an exception from Microsoft in order to release on the fucking console, because they could not get the game working on the Series S. So that thing ended up. It was interesting because I mean, obviously we've been doing this podcast long enough where, like, when they announced the S, we were both kind of like, "Oh, that's smart," that gets people in at a cheap price point. But it ended up being shit for Microsoft, because yeah, it did get people in at a cheap price point. There are more Xbox Series S's out there than S's in their install base, and developers don't want to put their games on the fucking S. So that's like a huge issue. That's become a huge problem for them. And I think it's like eroded their it's kind of eroded their ecosystem a little bit this generation. So I think it would make sense to not have that next generation, and really just go back to the normal one big console that's unified. So
yeah. No, I agree. I yeah, the S. I think they anticipated people to get the S and then want to eventually upgrade to the X.
mhm.
But I don't think the economy just allowed for that at the moment,
Yeah,
and they
right.
didn't have the games for it as well. So
I mean, they released this thing in COVID, you know, um, and they had supply chain issues, and then the economy's kind of been up and down ever since COVID, and we had like tons of inflation and things, and it's just like people don't have a lot of haven't had a lot of spending money in the last few years. So it makes sense, certainly. So, but yeah, new Xbox hardware coming this year maybe, and then 2027. So I mean, dude, can you believe like isn't it mind blowing to you that we're like, dude, we're like 2.5 years away from like next gen maybe already? Like, isn't that crazy? It just feels like this generation has just flown by. I don't know.
no,
Is
you're
that
right, bro. I still feel like it's 2020. And then
Yeah.
someone has to remind you. Like I saw a meme that said, "No, 2020 was 5 years ago," and I'm like, "Fuck, it was!"
Mhm.
Like you know. So it's like,
God, it's crazy,
and
man.
we
It's
and we
so
got
crazy.
we got our PlayStations in 2020, right? At the end of
Yeah.
2020, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I can't believe it literally feels like a remaster machine. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be honest with you. Um,
No, this has been a bad I feel like this has been a bad generation overall in terms of at least like exclusives have been really bad. I mean, there have been really great games from third parties for sure, but
yeah,
I'm think like I'm when we stack this generation up against like PS4, definitely, it's not gonna stand up.
it's
I
not
don't
even
think.
close.
I
It's
don't
not even
think.
close.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's
Even
gonna stand up.
Xbox had some really good hitters in
Yeah,
the
man.
PS in that generation.
Yeah, yeah, and like
It's
Xbox
not
has
even.
nothing, bro. Almost, it's
Yeah.
like it's just I don't know.
The only one in
So
my opinion that consistently was really good was the Switch, but even the Switch was like the last 4 years have been,
yeah,
or 3 years has been
they've been on
ass.
fumes, bro. They've been on
Yeah,
fumes the last couple of years. It's like, dude, where is the Switch 2? Where is it? So this generation's been weird. It's like it feels like it's gone really fast, and we haven't gotten like a ton of great games necessarily, but um, I don't know. We'll see. So hopefully next generation, these companies lock and load, and we'll see. I mean, who knows? We still got 2.5 years left of this gen. Sony could surprise us. There's still some games we're waiting on. So yeah, we'll see. All right, Macho. Let's move on to our final story. This one's kind of a minor one. We're Blizzard boys here, or at least we pay attention to Blizzard a lot. So Blizzard announced that BlizzCon is going to be returning in 2026, where they will be doing the full physical convention with announcements. It's going to be happening on September 12th and September 13th in 2026 at the Anaheim Convention Center. And I don't know, Montreal. What do you think? What do you think about this? Is justified?
well, I was a little bit more lighthearted than DJ. DJ went fucking hard on him.
Mm. I don't remember what he said.
He pretty much just shitted on him. Like they don't have
Yeah.
anything to fucking show. Like what the fuck
That's
are
what
they
I'm
having this
thinking.
con?
I'm thinking the same thing. Like, what are they gonna show at this? It's like, do they have a new game they're working on or something? Like,
No, they don't. Like I don't even know why we're getting. We should not get hype. I'm not getting hyped over this shit. I don't even care if they have a physical convention. I don't fucking care. You know
yeah.
why? Because we are going to get more Overwatch shit. That's all we're going to fucking get. We're going to get more Diablo Immortal shit. Oh my god. Look, there's another fucking season of Diablo 4 that no one gives a fuck about. No one cares. Oh my god. There's
Another
also
Hearthstone expansion.
yeah, and another WoW expansion. Like no one fucking cares, bro. I'm sorry. The only people that care is the 6 million subscribers to WoW. That's it, bro. No
Yeah.
one fucking cares, bro.
Yeah.
Like you're not. The only way you can get people to come back. Oh, I'm sorry. They're also gonna do another classic expansion. Oh, what are we on? Is it on Cataclysm now? It's not on Cataclysm.
It's
Is
on
it?
Mr. Pandaria, dude. They're deep in there, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, they're deep, man. Like we're going to Warlords of Draenor next, which is like one of the most panned expansions they've ever released. So I don't know. I mean, they got an audience. People are into it. So whatever, dude. We're just re-releasing WoW.
It's so
That's
dumb,
Blizzard's business strategy. It's just let's re-release World of
bro.
Warcraft.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
work on something, bro. Like give us some kind of. I will even take an Overwatch spin-off game at this point, bro. Give us something. Give us something, man.
Anything.
Give us a WoW spin-off. Give us a
Warcraft
Warcraft
4.
spin-off. Oh my yeah, give us a Warcraft 4. Give
Yeah.
us something, man. Give us an expansion of Warcraft 3 or something. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
do
like
something.
fix Warcraft 3 more.
Yeah, or give us a StarCraft 3 or something, man. Just anything. Anything. I
We're not
mean,
getting. We're not getting. I mean, there has to be something though. Why would they? Why would they do this next year
I
if
really
they're
think
not going to
Xbox
have
is
some? They're not going to have something.
Xbox is probably forcing them. I don't fucking know, bro.
No way. I doubt that. I sincerely doubt that. I don't. I don't know, dude.
Okay, but what else? What can they show? Like I feel like okay, so this is honestly
I mean, there's got to be a new
Space
game. There has to be a new
Space
game.
Marine already stole their thunder with like fighting hordes of enemies. So
Yeah.
like we're not going to
StarCraft
get
is
a
out.
StarCraft we're not going to get a StarCraft Space Marine type game. That would be cool. I would still want that game, but we're not going to get
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
just don't think we're going to get that type of shit. Marvel Rivals already stole their thunder unless they completely 180 and renege on Overwatch 2 and like we heard the fans 5v5 or 6v6 now and whatever the fuck, like not unless they do that shit, right? Like,
Overwatch 3. You all want it?
yeah, exactly. Um,
Oh my god.
like unless they really listen to fans, bro,
Yeah.
which I don't think. I think we're just gonna get more DLC. I think Diablo's a huge hit for them, so they're going all in on Diablo. Which congratulations to them and people who like Diablo. I just wasn't into it. Like I tried it and I was just like, nah, this ain't for me. I feel bad that I spent $70 on that game, but
Me too. Me too.
um, I think Path of Exile is way better, in my opinion.
We haven't played it yet. It's still
Yeah,
there. We gotta play it.
yeah, I played it. I still have it.
Oh, you bought it? Oh, I didn't know you
Yeah,
played it.
yeah, I have it. I bought it. I bought
Oh
the
fuck.
$30 edition or the
What the
$40
fuck?
edition.
Oh my god. Okay, I need to get it so we can play or something.
Okay, so I'm just gonna play with mouse. I'm gonna play with controller on it. I don't think mouse and keyboard is good on Path of Exile, in my opinion. But
That's what I
if
heard.
it's
That's what I heard.
yeah,
It's not actually designed for mouse keyboard.
yeah, yeah, um, but yeah. So
But yeah, Overwatch 2 is like
Overwatch 2 is
running to the
is the
ground. Like nobody
yeah. I mean, Marvel
cares.
Rivals is unless Marvel Rivals flops in the next in the next 6 months, which I mean very well could happen
Yeah,
because
but
it's a
even
free to
if
play
that
game.
happens, are they going to go back to Overwatch though? They'll just move on to something else. No, I feel like Overwatch's time in the sun is over. Like, does
I feel
anybody
like
really care?
no. I feel like Overwatch fans are like League fans.
Yeah,
They will come back.
they'll
They'll
come back.
always come back.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
The only problem is well, I mean, League has Dota, but Dota is not a one for one of League. If that makes any sense, Dota is like way harder than League, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Whereas Marvel Rivals is like almost damn near Overwatch, but with Marvel characters. And some minor differences here or there, but it's easy to translate your skills over to that game. So, yeah, it's different in
yeah,
that regard.
yeah,
So I don't know. I feel like Overwatch fans would always go back to Overwatch, in my opinion, if they do something crazy.
yeah. And Hearthstone, I haven't heard. I know it's still going, and there's still new expansions for it all the time. But it's like I don't remember the last time I heard anybody talk about Hearthstone in any way. Um, there's like a resurgence of Warcraft 3 happening right now. Grubby's hosting like a streamer tournament tomorrow.
Mhm.
And they've all been like training for it for the last like 3 weeks basically, so that the game's like getting a lot of viewership on Twitch right now. But that's ephemeral. Like once that's over, it's over. I think World of Warcraft is similarly had been carried by like streamers the last few months, but I mean that game's still going strong. But it's like their community's split in like 4 different ways. You have like the pure classic people. There's like classic hardcore. Then there's like the people who are doing like the Mr. Pandaria servers, and then there's obviously the true retail people also. So it's like that game's kind of in a weird space to me too. So I mean, I'm with you. Like, I'm with you guys. I'm with you and DJ. Like, dude, if there isn't a new game announcement at this, at least one, like a true, actual new game, not a spin-off, not a fucking expansion to something that's already out, like an actual new game. This is a waste of fucking time. And it sucks because like part of me would love to go to a BlizzCon at some point, but I don't want to do it in this era of Blizzard now. It's like I wish I had gone to BlizzCon back in like the aughts, or whatever.
Yeah, I
But
look at
yeah,
Blizzard like Riot. If Riot held something, and it's like, what else do you guys have to show besides League?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I mean, they do have more games than like Riot does, but uh, yeah, like what else do you have to show?
yeah.
I just personally I think BlizzCon is like a waste of money
Well,
for
even
them.
Riot, it's better though. Like they have like they have their like TV shows they have in development. They have these like those like side games they were doing with other studios and
Yeah, they
stuff.
do.
It's like
Yeah, they do.
Blizzard's
Yeah,
not even doing that stuff, you know? It's like,
yeah. Like if you can't do anything with your IP, let someone else do it, man.
yeah.
I don't understand what's going on. I don't know, man.
Well,
It's just
dude, I saw something. Somebody, I was there was a somebody there was a comment on a video I watched on YouTube the other day about Blizzard, and somebody was like talking about like, everybody's always harping on how Blizzard's fallen off and all this stuff, and like he said that he thought people have lost sight of the idea that like the run Blizzard had from like 1995 to like 2005 was one of the most incredible things we've seen in video games, period. And the idea that they were going to keep that up beyond that was actually like kind of a foolish take, and I like thinking about it. I kind of agree because it is clearly played out like that. Like there is nobody, and I mean this seriously. Like there is nobody that has made games as good as Blizzard was making them in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like there's no studio. I'm sorry. Like I love Naughty Dog's games. I think they're great, but it's just like they make games that are one and done. You play them and you're done with it, whereas Blizzard made games that were replayable endlessly, all their games were like that.
I
You
mean, one
played it
can
and you could keep playing it over and over and over and over and it would never get old, like they were
yeah,
that good.
one can surmise that they weren't the originators, but they really popularized, you know, esports. I mean, because
Yeah.
you had StarCraft. StarCraft was
Yeah.
like the original esport game
Yep.
that people were playing competitively and took seriously to where a whole country was like, yeah, we can make a college thing out of this. Like we can do this, um, and everything. And obviously, and also like the tool creator or the custom maps thing spawned like three genres of games that we play, like tower
Yeah.
defense, MOBAs, and
Yeah.
other and other shit that people play to this day or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't think they anticipated that type of shit. But even if you want to like just say about the games themselves, like I still remember the Alexi betrayal in StarCraft 1. I still remember all that
Yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah.
Uh the writing that was in those games were like really fucking good. Um
Yeah.
and I didn't play Warcraft, but according to you, like Warcraft was the same tier of writing. It was just really good writing and world building, and
I think
everything.
StarCraft's better. I'd say StarCraft 1's better than Warcraft 3, but Warcraft 3 is really good. There's some really
Yeah.
solid stuff in there. I will
Okay.
say, having replayed it recently, there are some goofy things in there, like certain things, but I will say overall, I still think it's really strong.
Yeah.
Um, the storyline with Arthas and stuff is like iconic, dude. Like it is classic. The paladin falling from grace and becoming the Death Knight, is like such a fucking classic kind of like archetype in like a game story, So
Yeah. And I just think that's peak Blizzard in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of foolish to expect that to keep happening because the people who did make those things, they have to leave the company because they're burnt out or they just want to retire and like, spend time with their family and shit like that.
well,
So,
and the company changed. Like, could we
yeah.
expect the success to not change Blizzard? It didn't for a while, but eventually it did. And I think that's true of any kind of enterprise or entity. When you start out small and you eventually find massive success, I mean, the idea that you're going to stay the same is unfortunately foolish. People are just not, they're not immune to what that brings, the money that brings, and that kind of um obsession there. So it's like it is what it is. I mean, I'm not bitter about it anymore. I used to be bitter. Like when we first started this podcast, I was very bitter about what Blizzard had turned into, you know? And but not anymore, dude. I don't really feel anything anymore with it. It is what it is. They made great games. They were great. They're still there. I can still play them. They're still great. They hold up to this day. It's kind of incredible, actually. Like it is really incredible watching people play Warcraft 3 and watching these streamers like, Tyler One and some of these other
Yeah, I was just
guys,
saying he's
Dendy and
training for
stuff,
it.
like from like Dota and League, and they're coming to this game and they're like, holy shit, this game is so deep. There's so much depth to it. And the layers that are there are incredible. And like listening to Grubby talk about it, like, he's talking about like, dude, this game's been around for 23 years, right? And there's been a pro scene for this game the entire time. And he's talking about like, dude, pros now still have not fully unlocked the power of their races in this game. That's how incredibly like deep Warcraft 3 is. And it's just it's like it's hard to do that. you know that's a really hard thing to expect a company to continue to do. So it is what it is. Blizzard's not who they were. They're never going to be who they were. Maybe someday down the road they'll find some new era, or something, so at some point in our lives. But we're clearly not in there right now. But I think Blizzard's that's the issue. I think the last like 6 or 7 years, they've been like stuck in this like live service rut, and it's even longer than that. It's probably 10 years at this point. But they've been in this like live service rut where they don't have any ideas, and anytime they try to do something outside of that, like the survival game, these like single player StarCraft games that Jason Schreier reported on, they all get canceled, ultimately they never actually see the light of day. So it's like I think if Blizzard's going to like reestablish themselves in some way outside of this live service space, like they need to have something like that, one of those types of games. It's like not necessarily totally single player, but maybe something co-op or just something different from what they've been doing, and it would be nice to see it, but I don't know. I have no expectations that it's going to happen. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. All right. Well, let's move on to our final segment. Guess the meta score. So we guessed a couple games a couple weeks ago. They're not out yet, but I forgot one that's pretty big that's coming out next week. Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh
And I'm
shit.
very interested in how this game is going to end up doing. Do you want to guess first or you want me to go first?
I'm gonna go first.
Okay. What do you think?
8.2.
8.2. Okay. And remember, guys, this is based on critic score, not audience score.
Yeah.
If it was based on audience score, Montrell would have put like a 4.7.
I would have won. I would have put a 1.
Yeah.
Legitimately a 1.
Yeah, dude. Oh man. Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm like, do I go high or low? I'm not sure.
Then
You
we should
kind of
make a
put
rule, though. I think we should make a rule.
Yeah.
I can redo my score though, but I think scores 8 point or like 3, 4, and 5, like 8 point, like 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6 are off limits. We can't pick those because those like dead in the middle. Anyone can win off that. If that makes any sense. Like the first person can't pick that, if that makes any sense. That's the advantage of going first, because you can pick that. So the second person can pick that, but the first person can't. So that's why I picked 8.2.
I don't think we need to do something like that though, because I think
so?
it's fair. No, I think it's fine because I think the person going second, actually, I thought about this more, actually has a huge advantage because you can go high low, where I could literally go 8.3 or 8.1 on you, and I've literally locked everything below you or above you, so like that's kind of the choice for the person going second. Now we could make a rule saying you can't go with like 0.2 within 0.2 of the first person's guess, which that'd be cool with me. They make it more fair, I guess.
I think that makes it more
we
fair.
tend not to do that anyways. We don't really play it like that usually, unless it's something like really high score. Like I think we did that with Monster Hunter, where like we guessed like 8.8 and I went 8.9 or something.
Yeah.
Because the scale is tighter there, so it's a little harder to justify. But so I don't know. We can feel it out. It's fine. I'm gonna go. Oh, man, I'm gonna say 7.7.
6, 7, or 7. Okay.
No, 7.7. 7.67. Yeah. 7.7. I feel like this game's gonna get panned. I think whatever they decided to do when they delayed it last September, I think critics are gonna be like, this was a half measure. They didn't go all the way with what they were trying to do, and they ended up making the game worse. Like it's not a good. That's what I think is
I,
gonna happen. So
only reason I'm giving it 8.2 is I saw the combat, and the combat actually looks really decent. What they
okay,
changed.
yeah.
Um, Now I don't know about the story or anything like that. But yeah, I already know this game's gonna get fucking ass bombed on fucking Metacritic.
A
Not
hundred
even.
percent.
I'm not
Do
even.
you want to guess the audience score?
Dude, it's gonna be like a 1, bro. I think it's
Okay,
gonna be like a.
audience score. You're gonna say one?
You know what? I'm gonna give them a benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say 3.
Okay, yeah, 3. I'm gonna go with my original thought of like 4.8 or something.
Okay, that's high in
That's
my
my
opinion. That's
guess.
high.
That's my guess. I
That's
know.
super
You're
high.
probably right. This game's gonna get bombed so hard, dude. It's getting bombed so hard, but we'll
I
see.
feel
We'll
like
see.
people already have the bomb bots ready, bro. Like I
Yeah.
feel like they
Oh,
already have it ready.
100%. 100%, dude. 100%. But we'll see. We'll see where it lands. It's coming out a week from today, I think. So
Yeah, I
I
already
don't know
have
if
my YouTube like muted for it and everything, bro.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
prepared myself for it. I don't want to
Twitter
see anything.
also, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see anything about this game.
Fair
Um,
enough.
yeah, I don't even. I'm not even gonna buy it. I'm probably gonna wait till it drops in price and later on in the year, and then I'll buy it. Um,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just not really chopping at the bit to play it. If that makes any sense. I haven't been excited for an Assassin's Creed game in a while, so
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all we got today, Montrell. We got kind of a leaner episode, nice and reasonably length. So is there anything else you want to talk about before we go today?
No, I saw a tweet on Blue Sky. Somebody said, and I agree. And this is not like a huge wild conversation we gotta have, but um, it's one of those things where it's like they want people to play their game series and everything, like their niche game series. They want more people to enjoy it, but then they slowly realize once it becomes popular, it brings more idiots into that into that
Yeah.
genre or into
Yeah.
that franchise or whatever, more fans into that
Hmm.
fandom.
Yeah.
Um, and I think we all experienced that. I will say that
Yeah.
for Xenoblade, I think Xenoblade
Yeah.
there always been gooners in Xenoblade. That's always been a gooner fan base. Um, in my opinion,
Yeah.
uh, I will say not for Xenoblade 1, but 2 really amped up the goonerifics with it.
Definitely. Well,
Um,
I will say with Xenoblade, the anti Xenoblade crowd, they're so obnoxious. I can't
oh
stand them.
my god, dude, oh my, the more popular this game gets, the more hate it gets.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many people hate a RPG in my entire life. Like they legitimately hate this game. And
Yeah. It's
they'll
so weird. It's so weird, dude.
yeah, it's I remember when I posted up my whole Xenoblade collection, and somebody was like, "I feel so bad for you. How could you play these awful games?" And it got like a whole bunch of retweets too. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? This game
Yeah,
is
like these games are so good. What are you talking about, brother? Like, I feel bad for you that you can't like glean any joy out of playing them. Sorry, I guess.
I just feel like people think if it's not Final Fantasy, it's not good. Like
Yeah,
that's what I think. I personally think. But yeah, yeah, Monster Hunter is the same. Unfortunately, Monster Hunter, uh, the community has gotten a little bit obnoxious, a little bit, a lot of bit actually, um, obnoxious. Um, I want to say it started the world, but honestly, I saw the writing on the wall with like generations. I saw it on the wall. I was like, yeah,
yeah,
this community is going to shit really fast. Um, but yeah, world kind of exacerbated that, and I think
yeah.
Rise actually was the worst of it.
Well, the issues, the honestly, it's not the new fans; it's the old ones.
Yeah, exactly.
The vets are annoying, bro. They're like they really are annoying. I mean, we were making the joke. What was it last week about the guy who was like, you're not really playing Monster Hunter if you have your Palico and you're playing co-op, bro. Of course it's easy, you
Is
know?
it really a speed run if you got your Palico out? It's like, shut
Yeah,
the fuck up. Is it really a speed run if you use the environments as damage? Yes, it
yeah,
is.
bro. It's part of the fucking game. Shut up, like Jesus.
So yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know, man. It's this. The vets are very annoying. I like the vets that do try to teach people how to play and hunt and stuff like that. I think that's really cool. But
Yeah.
uh
There's
I
a
don't
group of
like
them that are just like so fucking. I don't know. Like, just shut up, dude. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. So,
Yeah.
all
And
right.
I think that's a carryover from like Dark Souls. I think a lot of Dark Souls
Yeah,
fans are
definitely. There's some crossover there for sure in the fan
but yeah.
bases. But all right, let's get out of here. All right, guys. If you like this episode, please like the show, review the show, and subscribe to the show on whatever feed you're listening to it on. And please subscribe to us on YouTube. If you'd like to send us questions, you can do so on Twitter at The Players Take, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com, and we will answer your question on the show. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week. Bye.